60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to go under the sea with The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid marks a transitional period in Disney history, with a transition to the Disney Renaissance and a return to the fairy tale genre. Broadway composers Howard Ashman and Alan Menken signed a 3-picture deal with Disney, and The Little Mermaid was their first. Ashman in particular had a lot of impact on The Little Mermaid story in general as well. And because of him and countless other really talented people working on this movie, it's one of Disney's finest. I think The Little Mermaid genuinely has the best music out of all of the Disney movies. But this movie also has fantastic animation, fantastic characters, and a fantastic story that's told beautifully. Ariel is one of the best Disney princesses of all time, and I love how distinctly queer her story is. Misunderstood by family, feeling wrong in your own body, a forbidden love, it's all there. And Ursula is genuinely one of the best villains in all of Disney, too. This movie was a turning point that showed that Disney still had that magical touch, and it's still amazing today. 60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to go down under, mates, for The Rescue is Down Under. A lot of people are torn on whether The Rescuers or The Rescuers Down Under is the better Rescuers film. Me, personally, I think they're about equal, but in different ways. Down Under is a lot more action and adventure-oriented than the first movie, which I think is a big part of its appeal to a lot of people. Ava Gabor as Miss Bianca carried the first film, and she's wonderful here too, although I think she's kind of a little bit sidelined this time around. Bernard actually gets a lot of the focus here in this movie, and I think it really works because it helps make sure that both halves of the duo are equally interesting. George C. Scott as Percival McLeach, our main villain, is fantastic. He takes what would have been a boring, generic hunter villain and really made him have a lot of personality and pizzazz. They really take advantage of the Australian setting, and I think that's one of the big draws of this film. Structurally and script-wise, I don't think it's quite as strong as the other Disney Renaissance movies of this era, but I think it's an underrated classic, and I think it's easily the best Disney sequel. I said what I said. 60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to cover the tale as old as time, Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was the second Disney film that Howard Ashman and Alan Menken collaborate on after doing The Little Mermaid. This movie was already well underway, and Howard Ashman and Alan Menken were basically thrown at it like, here, fix this, we have no faith in this project. So it's honestly kind of a miracle how good this movie is. Beauty and the Beast is kind of the safe Disney option, to be honest, though. It's one of the most universally palatable Disney movies, and aside from those lazy Stockholm Syndrome criticisms, it really doesn't get a lot of criticism thrown its way. Bella's a great main protagonist, and as a princess, she's a great meeting ground of the modern and the traditional. The love story between the two main characters is very touching, and I think the climax is one of the most powerful in Disney. The animation is gorgeous, the music is absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate the angle that it takes about the way that decent people can be othered by society. This was the first Disney movie nominated for an Academy Award, and it's easy to see why. Even if this one isn't in your personal favorites, I still think it is easily one of the best. 60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to go to a whole new world with Aladdin. The whole concept of doing an Aladdin movie came from lyricist Howard Ashman, who died during the production of the film. As such, it was the third and final Disney movie that he worked on. It also happens to be, in my opinion, the best Disney movie of the 90s. This is just one of those Disney movies where I feel like everything works and everything lands. Aladdin is a fantastic main protagonist, and like Ariel, I really appreciate how his story has a uniquely queer element to it. He's very relatable, but he's also very likable, very fun, and very well written. Robin Williams as the genie needs no introduction, one of the single most iconic things to come out of Disney, period. The definition of a scene stealer. Jafar is a fantastic villain. In my opinion, he's second only to Maleficent for the best Disney villain. The animation is beautiful, and the way that it can bring to life such a magical world is just incredible. Some of the best music in all of Disney comes from this movie, with A Whole New World being the real showstopper. And it all tells a story that is exciting, engaging, and magical all at once. 60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to get spooky with The Nightmare Before Christmas. Despite not being considered to be a part of their animated canon, The Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the most influential and popular Disney films. It goes beyond a cult following to being an uber-marketable brand that Disney milks the hell out of consistently. And I obviously partake. But the thing is, the actual plot of The Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of just, it's there. But no one watches the movie for the plot anyway. People watch The Nightmare Before Christmas because it has unique and incredible characters, it has stunning animation, it has music that is absolutely iconic and fantastic, it has a mood and atmosphere that has a tight grip on an entire subset of counterculture. And I find it fascinating when a movie can do that. And I'm not saying the story itself is bad, it's just kind of there. It's just that everything else about it is so exceptional. This movie is a cornerstone of goth subculture and just Halloween in general. It's creative and innovative, and I love it. 60-second Disney movie reviews, and it's time to take our place in the circle of life with The Lion King. The Lion King is one of the most popular and pervasive Disney movies ever. You've probably already seen it, you probably already have an opinion on it, and no one's gonna change that. And The Lion King is very popular for a good reason. It's a great movie, there's no way around that. I think one of this film's strongest assets, and one of the elements that sets it apart from a lot of other Disney movies, is the sheer scale of it. Everything from the animation, to the music, to the story itself is big, and it's operating on a grand and epic scale. I personally love how colorful and vibrant the whole world that this movie inhabits is. It's one of those movies that makes me want to just explore the world. Scar is the best character, duh. Great villain, lot of fun. Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba is a phenomenal lead. Though if I had to pick a flaw, I do think Matthew Broderick as adult Simba is a little wooden, and he's not nearly as interesting once he grows up. There's also an over-reliance on gas and fart humor that makes it feel a little lowbrow at times, but overall this movie is a masterpiece.